Hi, I'm Abigail from Gloryfields Farm, and I'm going to show you how we make our goat milk ice cream. First, let's talk about the ingredients. We're going to be using goat's milk, sugar. This is cornstarch with a little water, 2 eggs, and some vanilla. What flavor ice cream are we going to make? You're going to find that out tomorrow. We're going to start by adding our milk, sugar, and cornstarch to the pot. Then we're going to add it to the stove on medium heat. We get our goat's milk from our goat Giggles. She's the only goat we have right now, and we depend on her to add to our nutrition. We use her milk for porridge, we use it to make pancakes, and our favorite thing to make right now is ice cream. I don't have a whisk, so I'm going to use my fork, and we're going to give it a little stir before adding it to the stove. We have our stove on medium heat, and we're going to wait until we start seeing the milk start to steam, and we can see the cornstarch starting to thicken up. But in the meantime, let's start on our eggs. One of the coolest things about our eggs is the way we feed our chickens. We get orange yolks, which means that they are getting a nice, wonderful balanced diet of fruits and vegetables along with their back feed. All we're going to do for these eggs is we're going to beat them. The wonderful thing I like about this recipe is a lot of ice cream recipes require you to use a yolk and throw away the white. But this recipe allows you to use the whole egg, therefore nothing is wasted. I think that's well beaten. Let's go check on our pot. So what we're going to do here is just keep mixing just so we can ensure that the cornstarch doesn't stick to the bottom of the pot and that the sugar is fully incorporated into the milk. I can tell you it already smells delicious, and it's just milk and sugar. Milk has started to thicken up. So what we're going to do now is we're going to turn off the stove and take it off the heat. And then we're going to temper our eggs. So if you don't know what tempering is bringing the eggs up to temperature by adding a little bit of the hot liquid to the cold or room temperature eggs, preferably room temperature, and whisking quickly to bring it up to temperature so when we pour it into the pot, it won't just scramble. I've been there. It's not fun. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to use my left hand to scoop and my right hand to whisk. And I'm just going to tip this over and whisk quickly and pour a little of the liquid at a time to bring these eggs up to temperature. And what we're doing here is we're making a custard. One way to see if your eggs are up to temperature would be to feel the side of your bowl and feel how warm it is. Now these eggs are pretty warm, so I'm just going to pour this into the pot. Now we're just going to incorporate the eggs back into the milk. Now these 4 ingredients are what we're going to need to make a custard. It won't be ice cream until I add just a little bit more milk. But right now we're just going to complete our custard by putting it back on the stove for about 2 minutes on low heat. Heat up. Is this low heat? I guess. You can already see the bubbles starting to form on the surface. What we're doing here is we're getting it to thicken up now and become an absolutely lovely custard. So as you can see, our custard has thickened up quite a bit. And what you're looking for is for it to just coat the back of the spoon. Don't mind this, you'll never see it in your ice cream. Next, we're going to turn off the stove, take it off the burner, and we're going to turn it into ice cream. We're going to add the remainder of our goat's milk. And we're going to mix that in. What we're also going to add is our vanilla. And we're just going to do 2 tablespoons. Ladies and gentlemen, it's basically our ice cream base. We're going to let it sit, cover it up, and allow it to cool down before putting it in a container, putting it in the freezer, and allowing it to freeze halfway. So our ice cream base is pretty much done. This would make a lovely vanilla ice cream as it is, but we're going to spice it up with a new flavor tomorrow. What we're going to do now is we're going to allow it to cool on the stove for a little bit before putting it in a freezer safe container and putting it in the freezer overnight. We don't have an ice cream maker, so what we're going to do is allow it to freeze before putting it on our blender, smoothing out that consistency and breaking up some of that ice. And by tomorrow afternoon, we'll have some lovely, creamy, delicious ice cream, and you will find out just how wonderful it is. Welcome back! Good morning! Now you're going to find out what flavor of ice cream we're going to make. If you've ever been to Island Grill, this flavor might sound familiar to you. We're going to be making some mango peach. Now the peaches were sourced on the farm, and the mangoes came from a neighbor who generously helped us out with this project. Everything we use for our ice cream is locally sourced or locally grown. The first thing I'm going to do is puree our frozen peaches and mangoes with a little bit more goat's milk, and I'm going to strain it out to get that wonderful puree. Then add a little bit of goat's milk and give this a quick blend. I think that will do. What do you think of the color? Right? Cut up the base a little beforehand, so this will be easier to do. And what this is going to do is break up the ice chunks so we can get that smooth ice cream consistency. I forgot about order. I think that should do it. Get it a little closer. And that is what's going to give us that nice, smooth, creamy ice cream that we're looking for. I'll save these for the kids. And all that's left to do now is to pop it in the freezer for 20 minutes and it'll be ready to serve. It's just a little too soft for our liking. So our mango peach ice cream has finally set. So let's see the end result. Doesn't that look just delicious? Let's see how it scoops. Well, I guess it didn't quite set. So let's scoop from here. And even at the iciest parts, it still looks quite delicious. Fun fact about goat milk ice cream. Goat's milk does not have as much cream as cow's milk. So the general texture of the ice cream is more of an icy gelato kind of a texture. So it's a much more refreshing experience when you're having goat milk ice cream. It doesn't coat your tongue as much as cow's milk ice cream does. Christopher, tell you how it is.
Yo, it's shut.
There's no.
Goat milky. Yummy, yummy. Tastes like oats.
Tastes like oats?
It's yummy.
It's yummy. Well, I guess that's good enough for us.
Can we eat all of it?
You can eat it all off.